Homework 6. So this is still our project Campus Taskboard API, which is a Spring Boot REST API for managing tasks. So this project allows users to create, view, update, and delete tasks through HTTP requests. And let's start with our model class. So we've made a bunch of modification here. Let's start with entity. So this annotation basically tells Spring that this class is an entity class and it should be a database table. And then the next table, we are assigning a name to it. So our table will have a name task in the database console. These two annotations are the first annotation marked this field as the primary key, and this generated value is responsible for generating ID when the new task is created, so we don't have to initialize that one. And then the column is basically controls how the database should look like. So we can put conditions to it for any data field. So in this case, title cannot be null and title cannot exceed 100 characters. And our enumerated. So this annotation is basically writes a wording of enum type instead of writing a number in that database. So from my understanding, this enum type is the custom data type that you can declare, and it has a set of possible values. So in this case, low, medium, high, and it cannot be anything beyond these values. Okay, and then this pre-persist annotation is responsible to run this method before our program tries to save a task in our database. So we kind of keep a track of when the tasks were created and when was the last time they were updated. And we move on to our next interface, which basically connects my task entity to Spring Data JPA. Here we have this repository, which has accrued methods, find by, save, delete all kind of methods that we can implement, that we can use. And here we are declared a bunch of methods following Java's naming convention. These method works because of Spring Data JPA naming conventions. Spring reads the method name and builds the query automatically. For example, completed find by completed true means find all tasks where completed is true. And the next thing is we have a custom query using JPQL. So this searches task where the title or description contains the keyword. So this is our custom query method. And then the last thing I wanted to show is get mapping, just pagination. Okay. So we've added a bunch of new endpoints here, so we can get tasks whose status is completed or incomplete, get tasks by priority. So this one right here, paginated. So this basically lets Pageable lets me return tasks page by page instead of returning everything at once. The user can choose the page number, page size, and sorting field. So this is useful when the data set is super large, so you can get data. You can just split the data into pages. So one thing I did not fully understand is the repository, this interface. So from my understanding, this interface extends a lot of interfaces in the hierarchy, so it has probably 30 methods, right? And we are inheriting all of those methods, right? But the thing is, like, we don't have to implement them in our class. Like these methods, we are declaring it, but in any classes we're not like actually implementing these methods. So I've been taught that when we declare an interface and we create an interface, we declare methods, but at some point, if we want to use this interface, we have to implement the methods inside of it. So, but in this case, Spring takes the responsibility of implementing them at runtime. And also, yeah, but I don't know, even I can't even formulate my question. But I need to read more about this one.